Okay, so we have to talk about what just went down behind closed doors at CinemaCon. In a super secret, industry-only presentation, Disney and Marvel Studios didn't just announce their next movie. Oh, no. They unveiled a full-on seismic event called Avengers Doomsday. And the details that have been trickling out from that room, wow, they paint a picture of a film that's not just another sequel. It's the culmination of literally everything that has come before. So today, we are going to break down every single piece of this massive puzzle. The incredible business strategy behind it, the secret trailer that left everyone absolutely stunned, and the mind-blowing plot details that give it all context. This is the line that apparently opened the entire trailer. Just imagine hearing that spoken over the one image that could absolutely silence a room full of Marvel fans, the X-Mansion. Not just a little banged up, but completely, utterly annihilated. For decades, right, in comics, on film, that mansion has been this symbol of hope, a safe haven for mutants. And to see it as just smoldering ruins, that's Marvel's way of telling us, point blank, that no one and no universe is safe anymore. This isn't just setting the tone, it's a declaration. The old world is gone.
Now, you gotta understand the setting here. This was not a fan event like Comic-Con. CinemaCon is where the big studios go to sell their biggest movies to the people who actually own the movie theaters. So when Marvel got on that stage, they weren't just trying to build hype. They were trying to prove they had a movie so huge, so monumental, it would basically own the box office for years to come. But to sell that dream, they first had to solve a massive problem that had nothing to do with the story and everything to do with the very screens it was going to be shown on.
So yeah, before they showed a single second of footage, Kevin Feige had to play a little game of corporate chess. This first part of our breakdown isn't really about superheroes. It's about business and a really fascinating power play that shows you just how serious Marvel is about making Doomsday an experience you cannot get anywhere else.
And this is where Marvel pulls off this really brilliant counter-move. They announced a brand new premium format they're calling Infinity Vision. What it is essentially is their own personal gold standard for theaters. They're only certifying the absolute best screens that have top-of-the-line laser projection and that immersive audio. And the reason for this? It's pure strategy. See, the rumor is that their biggest competition, the next Dune movie, had already locked up most of the IMAX screens for when this movie is supposed to come out. So instead of getting stuck with smaller screens, Disney just went and created their own premium experience. They're making sure Doomsday isn't just a movie, it's a technological showcase, and it's completely on their own terms. And their plan to launch this whole Infinity Vision thing is just pure genius. Kevin Feige announced that right before Doomsday comes out, they're going to re-release Avengers Endgame in theaters, but with brand new, never-before-seen footage. Just think about that for a second. They are inviting all of us to come back and relive the single biggest movie moment of the last decade, with new surprises, and then have it flow seamlessly into its multiversal successor. It's not just a double feature, it's this massive, unprecedented event designed to emotionally wire the legacy of the Infinity Saga directly to the beginning of this terrifying new era.
Okay, so once the business stuff was out of the way, the lights went down and Marvel just unleashed the trailer. And from every single thing we've heard, it wasn't just a preview, it was a series of absolute bombshells designed to completely break the internet. So let's break down the moments that apparently left that room of industry pros in total stunned silence.
You know, an Avengers film is only ever as good as its villain, right? For 10 years, the entire MCU was defined by the shadow of Thanos. So the biggest question since he was dusted has been, how in the world do you top that? Who could possibly be a bigger threat, not just in raw power, but in sheer presence? Well, the trailer's answer is something no one saw coming. And it's a twist so deep, it basically reframes the entire legacy of the MCU.
This was the moment that truly shocked everyone. The figure we see in the ruins of the X-Mansion is revealed to be Dr. Doom, one of Marvel's all-time greatest villains. But when he looks up, the face under the scars is not Victor Von Doom, it's Tony Stark. Robert Downey Jr. is back. But he's not our hero. He is a variant, a version of Tony from another universe who, instead of becoming Iron Man, became its ultimate tyrant. This isn't just a villain, it's a psychological weapon. Can you imagine our heroes having to fight a man who wears the face of their mentor, their friend, the man who died to save them all? It's just a diabolical, brilliant twist.
And this moment, it's the culmination of over 2 decades of movie history. I mean, think about it. The 2 actors who laid the literal foundation of the Marvel Cinematic Universe way back in Phase 1, Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Hemsworth, are finally going to have this ultimate showdown on screen. But it's not Iron Man versus Thor. It's a hero versus a monster wearing his best friend's face. We apparently even hear Thor say that this new threat scares him more than Thanos ever did. And of course it does. This isn't just a fight for the multiverse. It's a deeply personal war built on a foundation of 20+ years of stories. It is the ultimate collision of legacies.
But for every gut punch of a villain reveal, there was this just incredibly powerful, heroic one. The trailer reportedly shows a completely stunned Thor being approached by an older Steve Rogers. The greeting is so simple, so quiet, and so perfect. "Hey, pal." But Thor is hesitant, and honestly, who can blame him? The trailer's already shown us shapeshifters like Mystique perfectly mimicking other heroes. Is this just another cruel trick? Steve doesn't try to argue with him. He just holds out his hand. And then you get the ultimate proof. Mjolnir flies from Thor's own hand and slams right into Steve's. In that one perfect second, all the doubt is just gone. Captain America is back.
And as huge as those two moments were, believe it or not, they were just the starting points. The rest of the trailer was apparently this breathtaking montage just showing off the sheer, insane scale of this multiversal war, pulling in icons from every single era of Marvel movies.
I mean, the footage was just packed with these dream matchups that fans have been wanting to see for years. You get a shot of an enraged Thor bringing Stormbreaker down on Doctor Doom, only for Doom to stop the axe with one hand, like it's nothing. We see Shang-Chi, the master of the Ten Rings, in this dazzling fight against Channing Tatum's Gambit. And then you get the big team-ups, or more like team clashes, the Avengers going toe-to-toe with the X-Men. And finally, the arrival of the Fantastic Four, meeting the heroes of the main MCU for the very first time. It's just this dizzying, non-stop highlight reel. And that's really the heart of this whole thing, isn't it? For the first time ever in movie history, the three foundational pillars of Marvel Comics, the Avengers, the X-Men, and the Fantastic Four are all going to be on the same screen. This is not just a crossover, it's a convergence of entire universes of storytelling, with these legendary teams forced to fight as reality itself just collapses around them.
All right, so that's what the industry insiders got to see. An incredible, tantalizing collection of moments. But it brings up so many questions. Like, how does this all fit together? Well, now we're going to switch gears a little bit. We're moving from the official presentation to some highly credible plot leaks that have been popping up online. Leaks that seem to map out the entire opening of the film and give all this chaos some much-needed context.
So to get any of this, you first have to understand the core threat of this whole saga, the incursion. And it's not a villain with a gauntlet, it's more like a force of nature. An incursion is what happens when two parallel universes just drift too close and collide. And the result is catastrophic. One or sometimes both of those realities are just wiped from existence, billions of lives gone in an instant. You can't fight it, you can't reason with it, it's the laws of physics turning into a weapon of mass destruction. And according to these leaks, the movie starts by showing you exactly how horrifying this is, in the most brutal way imaginable. The opening scene is an incursion, and the two universes being destroyed are ones we have spent years with, the universe of the Fox X-Men and the universe of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. The film apparently gives us one last, really emotional look at these worlds and these characters before they are just completely erased. It's a devastating opening that right away tells you the stakes of this movie are not about winning a fight, they are about surviving total annihilation. This also finally answers the biggest lingering question from Endgame. Where the heck has Steve Rogers been? The leaks apparently lay out this whole fascinating history. So after he returns the stones, he lives out his life with Peggy in the past. But eventually, his little time travel anomaly gets the attention of the TVA. Loki and his agents find him, and they basically explain that, look, we respect what you did, but you simply cannot stay in this timeline without risking everything. So they offer him a deal. We will relocate you, Peggy, and your family to a quiet, stable universe where you can live out your days in peace. And the universe they choose for him is the home of the Fantastic Four. And this is the thing that brings him back into the fight. In this new reality, the very first person to detect these multiversal incursions is none other than Dr. Doom. The threat is so huge that he actually puts aside his rivalry with Reed Richards and goes to the Fantastic Four to warn them. He has this theory that the incursions might be drawn to people who are outside of their home reality. So at Doom's request, Reed scans the entire planet for an anomaly like that, and he finds one, Steve Rogers. They go to Steve not as an enemy, but as a potential ambassador, the only person who can bridge the gap between their universe and the MCU and unite them against a common doom. So this unlikely coalition gets formed. Steve Rogers, the Fantastic Four, and even Dr. Doom all travel to the main MCU timeline to warn the Avengers. But they don't get to them first. Instead, the first people they meet are the X-Men.
And according to the leaks, this version of the X-Men is not the hopeful team we might know. They are survivors. They've already seen and fought through previous incursions that cost them everything. They are paranoid and they are untrusting. So when a ship carrying Doctor Doom just shows up unannounced, their first reaction isn't to talk, it's to defend themselves. And that right there, that misunderstanding is the spark that ignites the massive Avengers versus X-Men brawl we see in the trailer.
So, when you piece it all together, the aggressive business moves, the shocking character reveals, the super detailed plot leaks, it becomes so clear what Marvel is doing. This isn't just another Avengers movie. They are carefully, meticulously crafting Avengers Doomsday to be the next Endgame, an event so massive in both its scale and its emotional weight that it's aiming to redefine the superhero genre all over again.
Let's just pause for a second and recap the sheer magnitude of what they're putting together here. You've got a villain who wears the face of the MCU's greatest hero. You have the emotional, definitive return of the original Captain America. You have the unprecedented history-making collision of the Avengers, the X-Men, and the Fantastic Four. The stakes are no longer just a city or a planet, but the very existence of entire universes we spent years watching. And all of it, every bit of it, is built on the foundation of over 2 decades of interconnected movies.
And this all leads to one final, really terrifying question. Endgame was all about winning, no matter what it cost. But Doomsday seems to be about something else entirely, just surviving. With reality itself unraveling, heroes fighting heroes, and a villain who has the face of an old friend and the power of a god, well, the challenge just feels truly insurmountable. It forces us to ask, is this the one threat that even the combined might of the multiverse's greatest heroes can't actually defeat? Is this how it all ends? That is the question Avengers Doomsday is leaving us with. Thanks for joining this explainer.